my dear young friends, welcome to this session. Today we are going to see the tiger in the tunnel. Don't be afraid, it is a story. My dear students, all these days you have been reading and you have been hearing the short stories either in the textbook or general books, and you would have heard many stories narrated by your parents, grandparents, relatives, friends and teachers, isn't it? A good story should have a plot, should have a characterization, should have a goal and conflict, and should have a theme and artistic effect and suitable setting. All these things, we are going to find in the story that we are going to read. These salient features of the story have a grip over the readers and listeners. It can be called a mini novel also. So, short stories are mini novels. Okay, shall we know something about the writer? Yes. So, this is written by Ruskin Bond. Bond is a very familiar name. You have heard and you have read James Bond stories. So, here Ruskin Bond. Yes. About the author, let us have some points. He was born on May 19, 1934 in Punjab, the present India, the present Punjab in India. He was also called the William Wordsworth. Why? Because he has written all about the nature, all about the scenery, all about the animals, and as Wordsworth has described in poems, this man has described everything about nature in his short stories. That is why he is called Wordsworth, Indian William Wordsworth. And words are worth for his story. And he has written over 500 essays, short stories and novels, and the first book was written at the age of 16. This is very important because here at the age of 16 he has started writing. He has got the good krishi in the field of literature, and some of his books are made into movies. That is Blue Umbrella, A Flight of Pigeons and Susanna's 7 Husbands. This is very interesting film. If you can't read it, at least you can see the films that are available. So he has received many awards also for his literary contribution. John Levin Rice Prize in 1957, Sahitya Academy Award 1992. Sahitya Academy Award is really a great one. Padma Shri 1999, and he was awarded Padma Bhushan in 2014. So he has been sufficiently awarded and rewarded for his contribution. Now let us see what is there in the story. In a nutshell, the tiger in the tunnel is simple yet touching story of Ruskin Bond. Simple but touching. The cold night, the stillness, the cutting before the tunnel with its overhanging sheer rocks and the denseness of the jungle, all of these build up a beautiful atmosphere suited to the story of Baldev's courage. Baldev, he is the protagonist of the story. He is the hero. His fight with the tiger is right. His fight with the tiger and his death, it gives the message that courage is the execution of duty. You see how? What is that? It gives the message that courage in the execution of duty and resilience in the face of adversity are essential traits for survival in the jungles of India. Life must go on. That is the message. Life must go on, however adverse the situation is. So, you have to know this, and also the situation, however the adverse. So, the story that you are going to read now is pinpointing that. Now, we shall start reading the story. Let us enjoy. Let us read and enjoy. Let us listen and enjoy. So, section 1. Tembu. Tembu is the only son of that Baldev. Tembu, the boy, opened his eyes in the dark and wondered if his father was ready to leave the hut on his nightly errand. So, he had got that night duty. So, he was just wondering whether he had left. There was no moon that night. Dark night. It was not a moonlit night. And the deathly silence of the surrounding jungle was broken only occasionally by the shrill cry of a cicada. Boom, boom, boom. There was a sort of sound there. Jungle stillness, deathly stillness associated by some sound. Sometimes from far off, from the long distance, came the hollow hammering of a woodpecker. The word tick, tick, chick, chick sound carried along on the faint breeze. So, that sound was being carried by the breeze. Or the grunt of a wild boar could be heard as he dug up a favorite root. So, all these sounds are there. But these sounds were rare. And the silence of the forest always returned to swallow them up. All these sounds, wherever, but they were subsided very quickly, and stillness of the forest returned, silence. Baldev, the watchman, was awake. He has to be, because he was a watchman. He stretched himself slowly, unwinding the heavy shawl that covered him, because it was dark, because it was very cold night. So, he had, you imagine that picture, slowly unwinding. So, like this, he was slowly getting that shawl, heavy shawl over him. The heavy shawl that covered him, it was close on midnight, almost close on midnight, between 11:30 and 12. And the chill air made him shiver because it was a cutting cold wind. The situation a small shack backed by heavy jungle was a station in name only. Why this man was there? He was a foreman there, and he had the duty at that station. That station, there was none to get in and get down, but there was a stop for the train. Most trains merely slowed down before taking the sharp curve before cutting. Because of that tunnel curve, they have to be slow. Baldev was responsible for signaling. Signal plays a very important role. Otherwise, many accidents would happen. His job is very, very delicate and important. For signaling whether or not the tunnel was clear of obstruction. So, that is an indication for the train driver. And his manual signal stood before the entrance. So, at the entrance of that tunnel, there was, so that it is going to give the signal. At night, it was his duty to see that the lamp was burning. Nowadays, we have got electric light that would be done on that switch on and switch off. But here, it has to be manually lighted. And the lamp, he has to see that the lamp was burning and that the overland mail passed through safely, so that without any hurdle, without any problem, that mail should pass that station. And in the meantime, his son, what is his name? Don't forget the name. So what did he say? Shall I come too, father? Asked Tembu sleepily, because he was a small boy. Appa, shall I come with you? Still lying in a huddle in a corner of the hut. He was just sleeping in a huddle like this, and he was asking his father whether he would accompany him. No, he said, father, a concerned father. No, it is cold night. Do not get up, don't get up. And you will be afflicted by cold, don't get up. Tembu, who was 12, you have to make it a 12. He was 12 years old boy. He did not always sleep with his father at the station. Usually he didn't go, always he didn't go and sleep with his father there in the station, for he had also to help in the home. Why? Why he was not going? Because he had got some work at home, where his mother and small sister were usually alone. So this man did not go with his father and sleep in the station. He had got some work at home to give company to his sister and mother. And what about that? They lived in a small tribal village. It was just a few miles away from the station. It was a small tribal village. Population was less. And their small rice field, where was the village? On the outskirts of the forest, about 3 miles. You have to remember, it was away from 3 miles, that village, and their house, tribal village, from the station. And their small rice fields did not provide them with more than a bare living, and Baldev considered himself lucky to have got the job of Khalasi, a foreman, a workman, a gangman, you can say, at this small wayside signal stop. Very small job. And whatever the income he got out of this salary, he used to supplement with the rice fields, whatever he was getting. Still drowsy, even because it was night, time for sleeping. Still drowsy, Baldev groped for his lamp in darkness. Groped. So it was very dark, was groped. And in darkness, and then fumbled about in search of matches. After getting that, for getting the lamp, and then he has to search for the matchbox. When he had produced a light, he left the hut. He made sure that the boy should not get afraid in the dark. Closed the door behind him and set off along the permanent way. Permanent way means usually the way he was taking. Every night he went. Tembu had fallen asleep again. So when his father said no, he just closed his eyes and slept. And now the story continues in section number 2. What is it about? At midnight, Baldev goes out of his hut. So in the interval of between the section 1 and section 2, and Baldev goes out of his hut into the thick forest. The jungle is full of dangerous animals, but Baldev has a job to do and it is important. So he had to do that. He had to cross, he had to see, he had to pass through the dense forest full of dangerous animals. He was used to that. Baldev wondered whether the lamp on the signal post still lit. He saw whether it is still burning. Gathering his shawl closer about him, he had worn that shawl, gathering it again on the signal about him, he stumbled on, sometimes along the rails, always in the usually cover, and in that way he was fumbling and stumbling, and sometimes along the rails he used to walk, sometimes along the ballast and the group of stones that are kept there. He longed to get back. He wished to get back to his warm corner in the hut. So he has to do that job and then he has to return to his hut. Now, the eeriness of the place. A sort of what? Strange fear, noise causing strange fear. The eeriness of the place was increased by the neighboring hills which overhung the main line threateningly. The whole thing was quite threatening. That forest, that mountain, that darkness. On entering the cutting with its sheer rock walls, towering high above the rails, Baldev could not help thinking about the wild animals he might encounter. He had to do his job. He had to face if he sees dangerous animals. He had heard many tales of the famous tunnel tiger. The people had told him, Baldev, be careful. There is a tiger near the tunnel. He is a man-eater. And he has frequented to that spot. And he hardly believed because he had to do that job. He hardly believed. He never believed these stories. For why? Since his arrival at this place a month ago, he had not seen or even heard a tiger. Because he didn't believe this. These guftagus, all these things, because he had not seen it, even though he had joined to that duty a month's time. A month had already gone, there had of course been panthers. Whether he believed it or not, there were some wild animals, panthers, and only a few days ago the villagers had killed one with their spears and axes. Baldev had occasionally heard the sawing of a panther producing the calling to its mate. He had heard it. You know, that is a different tone and tune, calling to its mate, but they had not come near the tunnel or shed. He had heard. Baldev, so he was not bothered about the stories told by the villagers. Baldev walked confidently, for being a tribal himself. I am a tribal himself. I have been brought and bred up here. Why should I? In that way he was used to the jungle and its ways. Were daredevil. Like his forefathers, he carried a small axe for his safety, not a pistol. It was a small axe. Kwaita. And Kudugolu, you must have seen, you know. It's just a bent one, fragile to look, but deadly when used. If it was for, though it was simple, but it was a deadly weapon when it was used. He prided himself in his skill in wielding it against wild animals. He wanted to get encouraged. He used to boast in that way. Like this, you know, he was very fond of using that against wild animals. He had killed a young boar with that axe once, and the family had feasted on the flesh for 3 days. So he had killed a boar. That flesh is really very good for the health. So the whole family lived on that for 3 days. The axe, head of pure steel. So describe that axe for that question. Pure steel, thin, very thin, but ringing true like a bell. Thana, thana, thana noise used to come. So thin, and had been made by his father. One more reason to boast of, to have that weapon. His father had made it over a charcoal fire. Perhaps you must have seen the blacksmiths, you know, making that instruments sharper with in the fire, keeping in the fire, and then just sounding it in that way. Here, and wherever he went, be it to the local market 7 miles away or to a tribal dance, the program, the axe was always in his hand. That was a wonderful weapon, and he wanted to just enjoy walking with that axe. Occasionally, an official who had come to the station had offered him good money for the weapon, because you know everyone was attracted by the beauty and the sharpness, or by the shape, or by the thinness, whatever the case may be. If everyone liked, sometimes you know an official had asked to share it for money, but Baldev had no intention with parting it. So he said, no, I can't, because it is my father's make. In that way, he never parted with that. The cutting curved sharply, and in darkness, you have to understand, and you must get a picture. Whenever you are reading You must get a picture. In that way, you must be so attentive. You must merge yourself in that reading. Then only the picture will come before your mind's eyes. And in the darkness, the black entrance to the tunnel looked up menacingly. From the distance, it was quite terrifying. The signal light was out. Baldev set to work to hold the lamp down by its chain. It would have been burning, it was off, so he just took it out, hauled the lamp down by its chain. And if you have got that village, if you are coming from the village, in the villages in the olden days, they used to have, and one man used to take that nichaniki or ladder and used to just clean it, put the oil in that way. Like that also here, lamp down by its chain to see if there was oil or not. He would have to return after seeing that, if there is no oil, he used to put that oil and he used to keep it clean to the hut and for more, and he used to do that job before he went in the night. The mail train was due in 5 minutes. Now the story is continued. Once more he fumbled for his matches when he had to light that signal light, Again, usually that happens, even though we keep, in that way we make that drama. So one has to fumble, one has to stumble for his matches. Then suddenly he stood still and listened. Suddenly stood. The frightened cry of a barking deer followed by a crashing sound in the undergrowth. Something was there. What is that? But the cry of a barking deer followed by a crashing sound made Baldev had to hurry to that place. There was still a light oil. There was still a little oil in the lamp. And after an instant's hesitation, he lit the lamp again and hoisted it into the position and sent it back to the position. Again, he had brought it down and again he sent it up. Having done this, he walked quickly down the tunnel, swinging his own lamp like this. Naturally, you see the shadow, so that the shadows leaped up and down, and along what? The soot-stained walls, kadigi iddantadu, carbon deposited there on those, and down the soot-stained walls, those shadows, and having made sure that the line was clear, and he saw, yes, no train, line is clear. He returned to the entrance and sat down to wait for the mail train. The train was late that day. Sitting huddled up like this, he was sitting huddled up. Because of the cold, he huddled up, closely sitting, almost dozing. Also, when a man gets cold and sit huddled up, naturally he goes for what? Dozing. He soon forgot his surroundings and began to nod like this, dozing, nodding, and he lost himself in that dozing nod. Back in the hut, there, what happened? Now, author takes us again back to the hut. Back in the hut, the trembling of the ground told of the approach of the train. So, if your house is near the railway patri, railway line, you know, you can understand how there is a sort of tremble. And trembling of the ground told of the approach of the train, and a low, distant rumble woke the boy. That the boy was alone in that hut, and he woke up because of that rumbling, trembling sound of the train. And who sat up, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. Boy, very small boy. Father, it is time to light the lamp. He began to mumble, badbad sa katidda. It is already time for my father. He must have just lighted the lamp. And he mumbled, and then realizing that his father had been gone some time. Then he remembered, father has already gone. He lay down again. See, you see this beautiful picture before your mind. That is literature. When you read literature, you know, you should enjoy that scenery also. You should bring everything before your mind's eyes. But he was wide awake now, completely caught up, waiting for the train to pass, waiting for his father's returning steps. Train going, passing out, and foot sound of his father. He was waiting for that. Here ends the second part of the story. So, we shall kill the tiger in the next hour, in the next class. Till then, we have to be. But now, before closing, you know, we have got something to test your memory and also train you how to read, how to think, and how to link, and how to ink. This is the procedure for the developing written skills or writing skills. What is the homework? You go through the two parts of the story and slowly answer. So, questions are: where did Baldev spend the night? What was Baldev responsible for? Where did Baldev's family live? Why did Baldev have to take up the job of a khalasi? All things are there. Describe the setting of the story, sound of the animals, deadliness of the forest, trees and birds chirping, making sound. So, again, take that. And name 4 wild animals which were to be found in the forest. You have that. Only thing, you know, you have to number them. What weapon did he carry? Who had made it? And what was the speciality? All that you can write about the weapon. And the last one is, how did Tembu know that train was coming? A rumbling, stumbling sound. What was he waiting for? For his father to return. Is it not simple? You have to, but one thing you have to make sure, instead of writing only a few words, you should answer in full sentences. You should write full sentences. If you develop that habit, you know, your writing skills will be strengthened. And okay, and tomorrow again we shall see the continuance of the story. Till then, thank you. Be with Baldev and his son Tembu. Good luck.